Hello audience. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today our hot topic is the unbeatable self-absorption of Donald Trump. This article is taken from the Sydney Morning Herald. So, let's start. Though the establishment in the United States, and the rest of the world for that matter, may detest the idea, Donald Trump overshadows all in the political scene. If he cannot be said to bestride the world like Colossus, because he lacks the moral authority for that, he certainly dominates it rather like Mr. Stay Puft at the end of the movie Ghostbusters. Created from America's own fears and self-indulgence, he is a gigantic, uncontrollable being, sent into the world to turn it upside down. Like Mr. Stay Puft, Donald Trump takes himself unshakably seriously where others cannot. By doing so, he has transformed US politics. Endlessly criticized, he remains unrepentant. Endlessly ridiculed, he remains unmoved. Endlessly changeable, he remains unchanged. America's 45th president is a very effective communicator, although not of a traditional kind. Any issue in President Trump's hands is changed into a transaction between personalities. In his world, ideas or interests are represented by individuals, who either agree or clash with him, and those agreements or clashes are expressed, on his side at least, in tweets of 140 characters or less. Complex issues cannot be explored this way, but that suits Mr. Trump, who is uninterested in detail, and cares only whether he wins or not. By eliminating subtlety and stripping every issue, every negotiation, every discussion, back to a win-or-lose personality clash in which he is prepared to use insults or, less often, praise as weapons, he has a better chance of winning the point and signaling that win to his supporters. Opponents accustomed to normal discussion and compromise may balk at insulting the president over an issue. He has no qualms about insulting them. Sometimes this schoolyard bully approach matches the tone of his opponent. His verbal sallies against the North Korean leader, Little Rocket Man, are an example where the leader of the free world has been stooping to conquer. The resort to insults does the US's wider cause no favors, but if Mr. Trump's approach succeeds in checking North Korea's nuclear irresponsibility where diplomacy has steadily failed, perhaps no one will mind. But bullying of the same kind looks likely to do serious damage elsewhere. Despite opposition from all the negotiating partners and from within his own cabinet, Mr. Trump seems determined to dump the Iran nuclear deal. If he does so when Iran has been observing the conditions of the deal, why would other nations, North Korea, for example, think it worthwhile to negotiate with Washington on limiting nuclear weapons? Here the Trump style limits Washington's options and harms US interests. When the president leads in coarsening public discourse, he evokes a similar response. Mr. Trump has not silenced his critics, far from it, but he has sidelined responsible voices, devalued the reporting of facts and intelligent analysis in public commentary, threatened media networks that report those facts with deregistration, and reduced political debates to a childish level, with the same pouty, self-indulgent tone as his own tweets. In recent days he has been arguing with the mayor of San Juan over disaster relief for Puerto Rico following Hurricane Maria, calling her nasty. She has responded by appearing in public with nasty printed across her t-shirt. He has clashed with the Republican chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Bob Corker, an early Trump supporter who has become a critic. After a series of typical Trump tweets alleging weakness, Senator Corker described the White House as an adult daycare center. The Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, one of the trio of wiser heads in the Trump administration, is reliably reported to have called his boss a moron. All this is childish, little more than gossip. Senior figures in previous administrations no doubt badmouthed each other, but with Trump, the tweeter-in-chief, this is the main message. When the United States speaks these days, this is what it chooses to say, and how it chooses to argue. Absent, too, is any sense of a realistic, reasoned alternative. Senior Democrats seem either to have been ensnared by Trump, as Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, minority leaders in the House and Senate respectively, appear to have been in a budget deal last month, or to have disappeared altogether. Senior Democrats offer no program and no ideas other than opposition to Mr. Trump himself, and no way credibly to oppose him. It is quite possible, in this transfigured landscape, with no alternative able to come to grips with him, that Trump will continue to dominate. Mr. Stay Puft could well win a second term. So, what do you think about this article? Let us know in the comments section. If you like the video, give us a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you.